Long ago, there was a kingdom where mornings began slowly. Sunlight reached the castle windows without hurry, and bells rang not to command the day, but to welcome it. The king lived there with his 12 children, 11 sons and 1 daughter, Elisa. The princes filled the halls with movement and sound. They raced along corridors, climbed towers, and argued about nothing important. Elisa followed them quietly. She liked to sit near windows. She liked to listen. When evening came, the children gathered close, sharing stories that drifted toward sleep. The world felt steady then, as though nothing could truly be taken away. When the queen died, the castle learned a new kind of silence. The king did his best to remain gentle, but loneliness makes even strong people uncertain. He remarried. The new queen arrived with careful grace. Her voice was smooth, her smile perfectly placed. At first, nothing seemed wrong, but she watched the children, how easily they belonged to one another, how naturally they filled the space around them. Jealousy does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it waits. One by one, the princes were sent away. Not suddenly, not cruelly. Each departure was explained with reasonable words: education, travel, preparation for the future. But the castle grew emptier. Elisa was sent away as well, placed among strangers who were kind, yet never truly home. Years passed. When the brothers finally returned, tall and changed, the queen acted without hesitation. Her magic was quiet. At dawn, the princes lifted into the sky as white swans, their voices stolen, their days bound to the air. Only when night arrived could they briefly return to themselves. Elisa returned to the castle, sensing something wrong. The queen tried to change her too, to twist her appearance, to mark her as something unclean. But Elisa remained unchanged. Fear replaced jealousy. False words spread quickly. Elisa fled before dawn, barefoot, silent, guided only by instinct. Stone turned to forest. Walls turned to trees. At a lake beneath an evening sky, she saw them. 11 swans descended, and when night fell, her brothers stood before her once more. They spoke softly, as if sound itself might break them. They told her of the spell of the sky-bound days, of the fragile nights. Elisa listened without interruption. She did not cry. She asked one question only: is there a way? That night, sleep brought a dream. A voice, not commanding, but clear, told her what must be done. Nettles, shirts, silence. The task was not offered as a test. It was offered as a truth. Pain would come. Time would stretch. Understanding would be absent. Elisa woke calm. Love, she understood, was not always loud. She promised her brothers she would try. They lifted into the sky again at dawn, and Elisa remained by the water, already gathering the first nettles. Her hands burned, the leaves cut. Still, she worked. She did not count hours. She did not measure progress. Silence became her language. Misunderstanding followed her footsteps, but she did not turn back. Elisa moved from place to place, always weaving, always quiet. People whispered. They could not name what frightened them, only that her silence felt intentional. But Elisa did not waver. Each shirt grew slowly. Each night passed, and above her 11 white shapes crossed the sky waiting. As seasons passed, Elisa was seen often, walking quietly through forests and villages, always gathering, always weaving. She spoke to no one. One evening, a young king noticed her. Not because she asked for help, not because she cried out, but because she remained steady. He watched her hands move with careful patience, and though her silence was strange, it did not feel dangerous. He offered her shelter. Elisa accepted, not with relief, but with gratitude. The king gave her a place within his castle. He did not ask for explanations. He did not demand conversation. Her silence remained intact. At night, Elisa continued her work, weaving beneath candlelight, counting progress only by touch. The shirts were nearly finished. Above the castle, 11 white forms still crossed the sky. People noticed her. They whispered, "Why did she work with nettles? Why did she never speak?" Fear fills spaces where understanding does not reach. Rumors grew. Elisa was watched more closely now. Still, she did not speak. Her promise mattered more than comfort. One night, accusations became louder than whispers. Elisa was taken before the court. She stood calmly, hands marked, eyes steady. The king looked at her, waiting. She did not defend herself. Silence, once chosen, cannot be broken for convenience. Time pressed forward. Only one shirt remained unfinished. Elisa worked until her hands could barely move, weaving faster now, but never carelessly. At dawn, the day of judgment arrived. The sky felt wide and waiting. As Elisa was led forward, the air changed. Sound filled the sky. Wings! 11 swans descended at once, their movement urgent, their cries sharp with hope. Elisa ran. She threw the shirts over them, one by one. The spell broke. Princes stood where swans had fallen. One brother bore a wing instead of an arm, but they were free. Elisa collapsed. Her silence ended. Words returned, not rushed, but gentle. Truth followed naturally. Fear faded. The king understood. The kingdom listened. The brothers remained together now, no longer divided by sky and night. Elisa was honored, not for suffering, but for patience. The lake reflected stars again, and when night arrived, it did so softly. Elisa rested at last, knowing that love, when held quietly and steadily, can change even the longest spells. And so, in a quiet kingdom beneath a patient sky, love learned that silence too can be brave.